Nightly Gaming News.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nightly Gaming News. Let's talk about some gaming news, I guess. We probably should do that for the show. Anyway, so the first story we have is Assassin's Creed movie trailer has been revealed. You can go see the trailer. In my personal opinion, I mean, we're just going to talk about this real quick. The trailer, the action sequences and the actual, stuffs in the trailer visually is kind of cool. I think that there are some times where you can obviously tell, some of the acrobatic stuff, it's like kind of cheesy, kind of B-movie-ish. Like you can see, you can't see the wires, but you know that they are attached to wires. You know what I'm saying? Like when they land, all of a sudden they just suddenly kind of stop falling at terminal velocity and they just kind of like slow down and then softly land and, shit like that. Like, it kind of sucks. It kind of does look a little bit lamish. It's probably not going to be a great movie. But one thing that makes the trailer really not great is the audio selection, the music. Now, at first, it starts out with like this electronic beat. I can understand that, makes sense. But then, freaking Kanye West coming on and like rapping like for Assassin's fucking Creed. I don't know. Music selection, not that great. Action seemed but all in all, there's no hype to it. The World of Warcraft new teaser trailer actually looks pretty decent and has some humor to it. So if they go with that humor with World of Warcraft, I think, then hey, that movie could actually turn out pretty good. Next, let's talk about 88 Heroes. The announcement trailer has been released and revealed to us. 88 Heroes looks like a cute sort of roguelike light. Yeah, it's totally a roguelite because it's action-based. It reminds me a lot of Rogue Legacy, taking a lot of concepts from there, and as well as Broforce. I think that game is called. Anyway, so 88 Heroes essentially works like this. There are 88 heroes, and every time you die, you are randomly switched, I think, or maybe you just have one life with each hero, and then you have to pick another hero. But either way, you only have one life with each hero, and once they die, you have to use the other heroes. So, that's just kind of like its little gimmick. And that's kind of maybe my first impressions of the game so far is that it looks gimmicky. It looks really silly. It's got some kind of crude humor into it, but it could still be a fun game. And it seems like a game that might have a little bit of replay value, especially because you're forced to play as different heroes, which all have very weird aesthetics, as you can see with some of these guys, and weird abilities as well. Next up in gaming news, Hawken's going to be coming to Xbox One. If you don't know what Hawken is, that's really not your fault. Hawken hasn't really been publicized too much. It's actually kind of dead right now on PC, but honestly, in my opinion, it's a great game. It's a really awesome mech first-person shooter, and it's really more of a first-person shooter that uses mechs versus mechs inside a shooter game, if you know what I mean. Like, it really feels kind of like Call of Duty, but you're just inside a mech. I guess maybe Titanfall is the closest thing. If Titanfall just had the Titans, it's kind of how Hawken plays. It's slower paced, but the graphics are pretty nice. I mean, for a free-to-play game, it looks like a AAA game, and it's got some really cool game features, especially with the customization, the different game modes, the maps, I'm going to reiterate and say the customization. It's mechs. You want to customize your mechs, suit it up, and you can totally do that. So I'm kind of saddened that this game doesn't have a bigger population, but maybe once it launches on Xbox One, and if they could do cross-platform play, that would be amazing, and I think the game could kind of resurge back to life, maybe potentially. All right, so in some AAA news, Final Fantasy X and X-2 has been released on Steam. This is a series, and particularly these two games are very close to my heart. However, I'm going to play the trailer, in the background. You guys see the trailer, but do not go and watch this trailer if you don't want to be spoiled, because like literally in the first couple of seconds, they spoil some pretty big fucking things. I tuned out of it because I want to relive the story again, because I forgot a lot of the main things. But I imagine they're probably going to spoil a lot more. Now, I don't know from personal experience if the port is actually good, but I do know that 10 and 10-2 are actually good games. They're good games, but, you might want to look at some reviews on the actual ports whenever, those actually get some reviews that just released. But, 10 and 10-2 are both good games for different reasons. The story is decent, and a lot of people complain about the voice acting. I think there's already a mod to switch out so you can get the Japanese voice acting. Me, personally, I really like the voice acting, the English-American voice acting. I thought it was pretty good, but whatever. Final Fantasy X and 10-2 finally released on Steam. A lot of people have been loving these these remixes of the Final Fantasy series. And actually, it's going to segue us into the next story, and that's going to be Final Fantasy XI. That's the MMO. Is going to be coming out on mobile devices, and it's being remastered with the Unreal Engine 4. what this entails is that essentially the mechanics of Final Fantasy XI, which was generally standstill and it was really more strategic and tactical and very grindy, and also kind of like campaignish. It wasn't really PvP oriented or anything. All those mechanics are going to stay the same. It's basically going to be the same Final Fantasy XI. It's going to be retuned a little bit so that it works with mobile devices. The UI and everything, and that's why UE4 is being used. Also, that means that I think a lot of models are going to be completely remade. So there's a couple of screenshots that I've seen, and the game looks completely updated. It actually looks kind of a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more colorful. It just looks good. It actually, I think, legitimately looks better than its PC counterpart, and yet it's still going to be on mobile devices. In fact, I have to say that there are some mobile MMOs out there right now that do look better than the original Final Fantasy XI. So, with it using a new engine, the Unreal Engine 4, an amazing engine, which is also free, by the way, guys. I don't know if you knew that, right? But it's going to be looking a lot better, and it looks like they're really taking it to heart to kind of, give this game new life with mobile devices. And the original mechanics, like I said before, I think are going to work really well with the mobile devices. And that's pretty much it for news today. A pretty short news day, I guess. So let's go jump into the rumor. So the rumor is there is not going to be as many announcements come this next E3 compared to what we are used to. Now, a lot of people are already speculating that maybe we're going to get a new Skyrim type, Elder Scrolls type of game. Everyone's talking about these different big companies, what they're going to announce. We're probably going to see Dishonored 2 gameplay, but a lot of these big companies have started doing their own big events. They're not just using E3. They're like DreamHack recently, NVIDIA. Actually, we just did a news article on that. NVIDIA released their GTX 1080 graphics card over at DreamHack in Austin. So yeah, a lot of these other companies are using other big events that are sprouting out, or they're just having their own, like Blizzard with BlizzCon. That's when they announce their big stuffs. So E3 isn't as pivotal as it used to be, but there's still going to be some announcements. So it's kind of understandable that the rumor would be that there's not going to be as many announcements. However, maybe that's going to leave room for some indie people to jump in and be like, hey, look at our game at E3. I don't know that. Either way, I'm not going to be attending this E3, but I will attempt to attend the next one. So that's going to end our show with the question of the day. Yesterday's question and responses, which I just, pick because they're the only responses. Thanks, guys. And now today's question of the day. What game do you think would work great as a mobile port? Yeah, that's right. I think Final Fantasy XI absolutely works as a mobile port because it's a standstill MMO. That's it's really a lot of kind of standing around with the fighting, and then in the town with the trading, and just it's pretty fucking slow paced, I'll admit it, which was not fun for me on PC. That's why I play World of Warcraft. But on mobile, I think that could be really exciting. So I can't really think of too many other games. I want to say Dark Souls, right? Just because I just want to see if it's even possible. It's probably not. There's no way it's possible. It can't be, but I want to see it happen anyways. Just for the, I don't know, just for the fun of it. Fun, quotation marks. Okay, anyway, so what game do you guys think would work as a good mobile port? Maybe be a little bit more serious than me, and something that might honestly actually work as a mobile port other than Dark Souls. I just can't think of anything right now. But thanks for watching, guys. By the way, I just rant these all the time. If you want me to actually take some care and thought into it, maybe you should donate to me on Patreon.
But that's all. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, friends.